The next speaker is Theresa Bonapartis, who is the director of Lumina.
It's so great to look out and see all of you here. It just really gives me great hope to see such a great crowd. And I'd like to thank the mayor, too, for having me here today and courageously declaring this week for life. And I love the theme, every life is worth living. Every life, the elderly, the handicapped, the infirm, the unborn, each of our lives are worth living. In a time when it appears that the value of all life is being brought into question through abortion, infanticide, euthanasia, and even violence, and with the dangers through healthcare reform, it's so hopeful to have a week where we could dedicate it to the dignity and the value of every human being. As Tony mentioned, my name is Theresa Bonapartis, and I'm the director of Lumina, Hope and Healing After Abortion. Lumina reaches out to people that are suffering from a past abortion through public education, through workshops, public speaking, and also through ministries, one of them being a ministry that I do with the Sisters of Life called Entering Canaan. I'm going to go a little bit the same place that Rob went. The past 2 weeks, we've been stunned and saddened with the terrible plight of the people of Haiti as a result of the natural disaster of the devastating earthquake. We've all watched it on TV and been captivated by the loss of life and the suffering of the people who survived. It makes us face our own vulnerability, and the world unites as we all know that such a tragedy can happen to any one of us. As we should, we all want to help. The aid has been coming in from all over the world, and our newspapers bring us to the scene as we see those being pulled from the rubble, those who are injured and those who have died. We all want to help these people who are suffering, and we can clearly see and imagine, and we know even before the quake, these people had their share of crosses. The fallout from the quake is devastating, and the death toll is said to be 200,000 people. It's pretty staggering. Those alive are not only fighting for their own lives, but they're surely mourning the deaths of many people they loved. Mothers have been left without their children, children without their parents, fathers, grandparents, siblings. There's so much suffering. The loss of even one life touches so many people. And each of us, although we may not particularly know anyone, mourn for the life that was lost there. But there's another tragedy. Unlike Haiti, this one is not a natural disaster, but a disaster of our own making. It has taken the lives of 50 million innocent unborn babies in our country. When we think of that, 50 million, it too is very staggering. We choose to live in denial of what we have done as a country. The same media who show us the dead and the broken from war and from Haiti block out the truth of abortion, saying it's not appropriate to show. When I was 17 years old, I became pregnant. Like many teenagers, I was afraid to tell my parents, and so I hid my pregnancy. I was brought up in a Catholic home, so I never thought that abortion was going to be an option. When I finally told my parents, I was in my 4th month of pregnancy, and I got a very different reaction than the one that I thought. My father told me to get out of the house and forget that I was his child and just leave, and I had to leave. In the days that followed, I was pressured by my parents to get an abortion. He kept sending messages to me, and there was really no help out there. Everybody thinks that women have a choice from abortion, but after doing this work for almost 20 years, I can tell you most women abort because they feel like they have no choice. Because I was in my 4th month of pregnancy, I ended up having one of those abortions that the senator spoke about, a saline abortion. I gave birth to a dead baby boy in a hospital room by myself. I saw the devastation of abortion. No one can tell me that abortion doesn't kill an unborn baby. Just this past Friday, I attended the March for Life in D.C. 50 men and women held "I regret my abortion" signs. There's a great group being formed. It's called Silent No More. And they're all post-abortive women and men who are speaking out about the truth of abortion and how it not only kills the unborn, but how it devastates mothers and fathers. The next day after the march, I went to look at the Washington Post. And on the front page, there was a picture of 5 people from the National Organization of Women who had signs that said, "Keep abortion legal." But not one sign of the 50 women and men who held "I regret my abortion" signs and gave testimonies in front of the Supreme Court. As long as we as a nation do not face what abortion is and the devastation it has caused, we could somehow continue to justify it. But like in Haiti, we're all living with the fallout of our man-made disaster. Whether we admit it or not, it's becoming harder and harder to deny, as evidenced by the change of heart in our country, because we all know someone suffering from an abortion, whether we realize it or not. Like the mothers, fathers, grandparents, and siblings, and others suffering because of the loss of life in Haiti, countless people are suffering in our country because of the loss of life of the unborn from abortion. And what is worse, they very often have participated in that loss. Not only are there millions of babies who have been denied their right to life, but there are millions more people whose lives have been stripped of their dignity, living in grief and shame because of abortion. People of every age, from 14 to 90, are impacted. Every nationality and every race. It has denied life not only to the unborn, but the quality of life to millions of others, like Fiona, a 90-year-old woman who wrote to me about an abortion she had had over 60 years prior. Fiona spent her life not only mourning her child and feeling guilty for the abortion, but living in the fear of being found out, especially by her children, who she then feared would not love her anymore. Fiona's life was worth living. It was worth living in joy and peace and dignity. Abortion has denied the quality of life for countless mothers and fathers whose hearts are never far from the children they denied living to. Countless grandparents who are mourning the loss of their grandchildren through abortion. Siblings of aborted babies who often come up to me and tell me that they knew something was missing before they ever even found out about an aborted brother or sister. Every life is worth living. It is worth living in dignity, joy, peace, and love. But society as a whole is suffering. We've lost out, and God only knows what talents and contributions those aborted would have brought into our world by being alive. We have seen the threats of life increase on an immense scale this past year, and abortion continues to be a hot button of the healthcare debate. But abortion is not healthcare. We hear talk of a middle ground. What middle ground can we have when it comes to a person's life? Yes, the situation in Haiti is awful, and our hearts are broken seeing the devastation there, and well, it should be. We should continue to cry out for them and offer our help, but we also should cry out for the tragedy in our own nation by having weeks such as this proclaiming that every life is worth living. We need to offer women in crisis pregnancies help. We need to reach out to those suffering as a result of past abortion so they could come to see that forgiveness and healing is possible through God and that they can have joy in their lives again. Like Haiti, we're a wounded nation, only we brought about our own disaster. But we can change that. We can end abortion and provide real care to all people in our country, a change we really can believe in. Until we respect each and every life in this world, those in Haiti and those in the womb, the elderly, the infirm, the disabled, we'll never have peace. For God created each one of us in His image, and truly every life is sacred and worth living. Thank you.
So, in the name of all those who are post-abortive, who have received healing from the Lord, and because of being used as an instrument of God's mercy, please accept this plaque of the Advocates of God.